because you move back home with your parents doesn't mean life stops. It might feel like that. It might feel like the version of you that you want has stopped. And while it might seem in society standards that you're taking steps back in life, I assure you that does not have to be a case if and only if you take the steps necessary every single day to make sure you're still living a full life. And how do I know that? Because I have been on both sides now, like that one song. And I'm happy to report that it is possible to live a happy, well-balanced, well-rounded life while living with your parents. And in the meantime, if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to this channel. I'm also posting my videos for free if something was to happen to the site on my Patreon, so you don't have to pay for anything. It's literally just the same long-form content here and there. But without further ado, let's get into it. Now, a quick little disclaimer, moving back home with your parents is not a bad thing. In the West, we do have this tendency to look favorably on people who moved out at 18, somehow got a house in their 20s, and are just never have taken a step back. But really, this is a new concept, and people around the world and through the course of time have lived with their parents well into their 30s or up until they got married. So let's just sit and breathe with that for a second. Also, it is not a bad thing to move home with your parents regardless of that, but just period. It might feel like a bad thing because maybe we don't want to. It's just our current circumstances. This is the only option at the moment. And in that case, I just have to say it's awesome that you have people to move back home with, and it's awesome that your parents are still alive. And hopefully this situation can be used for the better. And honestly, there is so much untapped potential that could come from people if they just do move back home and allow themselves to cook with their ideas. That's what I feel like. I'm getting ahead of myself at the moment. But if I was not able to move home, I feel like I would just been in the rat race and that is it. But in the meantime, while I've been in this sanctuary, this is not bragging. This is I'm trying to share with you guys that it's not all a bad thing about moving home, and if you're really intentional with your time, you can change your life. I changed my life. I am now a content creator. Weird, all because the free time that I have from not chasing rent money and just chasing bill money has went into this. So, getting ahead of ourselves, of course, we're gonna talk about that later. But moving back home, I just want to get this out of the way, is not a bad thing. Also, do you like this new ring? It has a little paint over it, but I got this for 50 cents at the mall. One of those coin things. Remember those guys? Yeah, the original blind boxes, mind you. Labubu, move aside. Anywho, let's get into it. How do you possibly have a full life while living home with your parents? And I gotta tell you, it all comes down to your what you do on the daily. And if you're not that type of person that does well with daily advice, I was not one of those people. And then I turned 28. And this is weird. And ever since I turned 28, now I am consistent with almost all my goals, or just my habits. I eat healthy. I keep a weekly planner, not online, a physical planner, something that I hated doing, but it's just it is definitely possible to change. So if you feel like that's not you per se right now, still tune in because there's stuff that you can definitely pick and choose from. So what are these routine habits that have made me feel like I'm living a full life while living at home? I'll tell you. Number 1, eating right. Number 2, maintaining a good standing with everyone that I live with. Number 3, and what I'm going to do right after this video, is moving my body every single day. Number 4, having a life outside of the home, some type of social life, And number 5, being proactive with my goals / getting 1% better every single day. So in a nutshell, that's basically what it takes to live a full life living with your parents. And let me tell you what, yeah, I could go on AI and ask it, hey, how do you XYZ live a full life with your parents? I'm not gonna do this. I'm just speaking from my own experience. So if I happen to miss something, literally shoot me in the foot. I don't care. I am so AI out right now that I am so willing to be wrong. Have the courage to be wrong today with an open heart, of course. But anyways, guys, like those rappers in the 90s, let's break it down. Number 1, eating right. What you put into your body seriously determines literally everything. How you think, your energy levels, your skin. It's crazy that we have all this convenience food that is chips and all the processed stuff, and then we eat all that, and then we wonder why we have foggy brain. We wonder why we have no energy. I am not a nutritionist. I am not a dietitian. All I know is what works for me, which is a whole food vegetarian diet, prioritizing on low calorie, high protein proportions. Find what works for you, but I know what doesn't work for you and doesn't work for humans, and because it shouldn't and it doesn't, is highly processed food. The more you cut out soda, the more you make healthy swaps. Now, when I say healthy swaps, I don't mean change out meat for highly processed vegetarian or vegan meat substitutes. I wouldn't touch that with a 4-foot pole, okay? like the Grinch. If per se you're trying to eat less meat, instead of meat, go for beans. Instead of meat, go for tofu. Whatever is less processed is gonna make you so much more happier in the long run. Also, at least for me, I realized my proportions were so big, and then I wondered like why I was going nowhere in the gym, why I was not making any progress. Now is a great time to check in and be like, what should my proportions be? And am I eating the right proportions? Because we could talk about diet and nutrition all night long. Again, like that one song. Why are all these songs coming to my head? Anyways, but if you're eating too much, you're eating too much. So that's something to definitely do a little Google search online or like ask your doctor probably. Next, number 2, maintaining good standing with everyone that I live with. When we're kids, it is very easy to, snap at people or be mean for any reason, maybe because you're mad at something happened in school, XYZ. When you're an adult, when you have a college degree, now is the time to just be smart with your emotions. And number 1, don't take anything personally. That's one of the 4 agreements in that book. If you haven't read it, highly suggest it. But in that book, it talks about how not to take anything personally. And when you live with people, like roommates is one thing. Your family is a whole other level, as we know. And it can be very easy for old triggers to come up or old problems to come up. Sure, your parents are your parents and they're older than you, but now that you're an adult too, you have to have some level of stopping yourself. Do I struggle with this? Yes, I do. And no family's perfect. Oh my gosh. So I'm not going to be like, woe is me over here. All to say, it is very important not be the parent, but you have to be the more mature one. There is now no excuse. I'm assuming everyone here pays taxes. So if you pay taxes, this is for you. You have to do the best of your ability to maintain good standing with everyone. Now, obviously, if someone actually wrongs you on purpose or whatever, deal with it. But then it's in your best interest to just keep the peace. As far as it depends on you. Ooh. Live by the golden rule. And if there's a hard conversation to be had, bite the bullet. Honestly, do it. It's not fun at all to walk around in eggshells. It is not fun to walk around with like this weird tension. There is another life on the other side of it. You might be the one to have to do it. That could be really uncomfortable, but I promise you, it is so worth it on the other side. Number 3, moving your body every single day. We talked about this in a different episode. Is this an episode? I don't know. We talked about this in another video about the importance of not treating your time at home like you're a kid again. Because in the back of my mind, I'm looking around and I'm like, oh, I'm on summer vacation. Oh, it's a weekend. Especially if there's no one in the house like right now. Oh, I'm like on a sick day. This is not the case anymore, but when I first moved back home, in the back of my mind, the voice was very strong of like, you need to relax. You could spend a day in bed. It's not gonna be a day wasted. Hey, I'm all about brain rotting and bed rotting at certain times, Clock in, clock out. Don't make it your whole day, okay? Sign up for a bed rotting shift, but when the time comes, you need to roll out of bed. And ever since I got out of that hump, and it's like a real, it's a real doozy, I have to tell you what, because you're literally fighting with your inner child. You have to adopt some type of daily movement. And when I say that, don't get your panties in the twist, because I don't mean doing like P90X every single day. That's gonna give you the opposite, I'm pretty sure, the results that you want, because you'll just fall out and fall right back in. But like, I walk for an hour a day because I sit so much, and I'm like, an hour is nothing, because 12 hours, I'm basically sedentary. I try not to be, but I have a lot of work online and what. For example, when I first started working out, I went to the gym. I had to get ready, get dressed, make sure I had all the things charged and gas in the tank, and make sure I looked nice just in case I ran into my ex from high school. And there were so many factors that made me just go, I don't want to go. It all changed when I started doing house workouts, and it was very easy to transition from like work, lunch, workout, back to work. Life-changing. Now I can work out with ease. I don't have to worry about how the world perceives me. I can wear the ugliest thing is inside out. Oh my gosh, my phone's not charged. That's okay. Give me like 5 minutes and I'll be fine. I don't have to like drive back home and all that stuff. That's what worked for me. I walk for an hour with little wrist weights to give a little motion. Sometimes I do weights while walking, but I just literally watch YouTube videos while walking. And then afterwards I do light stretches, or like I do abs or legs. Very minimal work, but I've seen my body change for the better because of that. You do not need to do the most. Just make sure you're moving your body and not treating every single day like I was as a cheat day. So that's number 3. Number 4, and I would say this is probably the most important one, is having some type of life outside of your home. You need something going on. And yes, you can definitely count the digital world as something else that's not outside of your home. Let me raise you one better. Having a physical hangout spot, physical places to go that are not your home, and having a life there, having some type of community, meeting up with friends there, whatever have you, all that will make you so much more happier, because then you're not relying on your family to also be your friends. Now listen, don't get it twisted. Your friends can be your family. You can have that, friendship vibe, but for all of the weight that you're needing to socialize, at least for me, like, I love socializing. My love language is hanging out, it's quality time. And my parents both work jobs. My sibling and my sister and her husband have their work. And sometimes I'm just like, let's hang out. But at the same time, they come home from work and they want to rest and all that stuff. So there can be a lot of, this is the example from the second one. I would take it personally when they don't want to talk, but they're just so tired. I can't take that personally. It has nothing to do with me. It has to do about their whole day. I don't even know what went on. I have to wait a bit, then talk. Get some friends, okay? And I say that kind of like hee hee ha ha, but I know that there's some of us that live in really well-made, kind of being facetious here, really poorly made neighborhoods of the suburbs where it's really hard to meet up with people if it doesn't require spending money. It could be hard, and I understand, but if you don't have that, I promise you, that's what's probably going to make you feel a lot better, is having that social life, is hanging out with a friend. Like in about 3 hours, my friend Audrey is about to pick me up and we're about to go hang out at a diner/bar/music venue. And we started hanging out more because I saw that article, like being lonely is equivalent to like smoking 3 packs of cigarettes a day. And I was like, okay, I know that I'm at home and I should be focusing on work and I should be focusing on leveling up my body, mind, soul. Socialization is so human that neglecting it is like so counterintuitive. We need to be treating our social lives with just as much importance as like eating, sleeping, or working out. Anyways, having that social life outside of my home really does make a difference, and it should for you too. So that's number 4. And number 5, one of my favorite things to do is being productive towards your goals / getting better at least 1% every day. Listen, and I hear you say, Madison, I have a full-time job. Madison, I'm trying to get a job. Yes, we need to make money because, oh my gosh, look at our society. Everything costs money. And even when it costs money, it costs more money. But if you're living at home and you kind of feel lost and you're just like, woe is me, woe is me. Pity party needs to end now. Look at all the time you have to work towards that goal that you've been thinking about in the back of your head. Sure, the goal might be scary. Sure, the goal might seem far-fetched. Life is going to continue. So sure, when you live at home, you probably do have a job, a full-time job. And so you really do treat just like your home like you would your apartment. You only really use it to sleep at. But maybe you're like the other half of people who came back home because of the job market, which just sucks balls right now. You're having a hard time finding a job, and while it's like searching for a job is a job in itself, I encourage you to please still go after your goals. Whatever they may be, they still are deserving of your time and energy, even when you're in a rough spot or you're unemployed. Also, I will say, controversial but true, if you are unemployed right now, but you have like the skills to do so, please go into freelancing. Freelancing changed my life. It's my favorite type of work, and I've been a freelancer for oh my gosh, since 2020, so like 5 years now. It's been the best. Before I found freelancing, I would just apply to so many jobs. It took me like years to get hired, which was strange, but I know that's even more true now because of the stupid AI things, and the job report was really bad. So like, we're all in this together, okay? I understand. At the same time, if the job market sucks, you might as well go after your goals. And that is what's going to reignite this like lost, supposedly, I don't really know, maybe, but is going to reignite any lost sense of self you may feel by moving back home. It's going to light up because you're doing what you love. And I hate to say it, it's just like so corny saying all this stuff, but it's just gonna make you enjoy life. It's going to make you a more magnetic person because you're doing literally what you were born to do. Just give yourself a little time here and there to go after it. Because as soon as I started doing that, I became so much more happier. It wasn't the supplements I was taking. It wasn't some life advice from a coach. It wasn't some new strange Frankenstein supplement. It wasn't some new fill in the blank workout routine. It was just going after my desires. And that's what made me happy. So good news for you guys. It's literally free to be happy. You just have to do that. That's really it. There's a lot of small, fig tree branches we could get into, but these 5 things fundamentally has made my living here with my parents so much better. Let me know what has helped you guys. And like I said before, I'm going to go work out now. So I'll see you in the next one.